Are you ready to learn how to stop gaslighting in relationships? Hey, I'm Antje Boyd, creator of the Magnetize Your Man method, and I'm really excited to talk about this particular topic because it is really so detrimental to your own psychological health, to stop attracting those kind of men into your life and to set boundaries for good. Now, what the heck is gaslighting? Gaslighting is also known as manipulating somebody by psychological means into questioning their own sanity, right? It's really like a person making you question your own reality. So let's go ahead and just stop that right here, okay? So secret number one on how to stop gaslighting in a relationship is stay connected to yourself. Focus on yourself. Now, gaslighting oftentimes actually happens when you focus too much on the other person, right? Like you're so much involved in their life and you're also focusing more on their approval, right? So their authority, their opinion is more important to you than your own opinion of yourself. So it's really like breaking through your fear to be selfish, to be self-focused, and to get any other reactions about that, right? So look, I mean, I have heard so many stories about gaslighting, and the biggest thing here is that the woman was consistently giving her power away. You know, she was giving her own point of views away. She was giving her own opinions away. And what I'm asking you to do instead is bring that energy back to yourself, back to yourself. Yes, it is me. And by the way, when you are called anything like crazy or insane or anything like that, that's actually secret number two, which I'm going to go into in a moment, to actually lean into that. So really important is really staying connected to yourself. Now, secret number two is you are actually have to lean into what you're called. Okay, so are you called, are you crazy? Are you insane? You are weird. You are unreasonable. You are irrational. Whatever the word may be, I invite you to fully, powerfully lean into that, right? Because look, the only reason why gaslighting works is because you have such a strong charge around those psychological means that your partner uses, right? So for example, if you say you are such a narcissist, right? He uses that word because you have such a strong charge around the word narcissist, right? Or if he says you are such a bitch, you're such a selfish bitch, right? Like he uses that because he knows that you have such a strong resistance to that word and that you never want to be called that, right? Or if he uses the word, you are so selfish, or you are so arrogant, or you're so stupid, or whatever he's going to say, he knows that he can get a reaction out of you. So guess what? Do me a favor and actually say, yes, absolutely. You are absolutely right. Right? I am all those things because you are. And by the way, everybody else is. Now, the cool thing about that is that you are actually providing a pattern interrupt. Trust me, girlfriend, it is going to stop him in his tracks. It's so funny to see people's faces when they're like, wait a minute, you're supposed to like really hate this and you're supposed to resist this and you're supposed to push this away and defend yourself and become judgmental, right? But instead, you are literally like water, right? You're not resisting anything. You stay very fluid. You know, it's kind of like a samurai, right? They just like know how to move in and move out with a smile on their face. And that's why they can move so fast, right? So that's number 2. It's really, really important. Secret number 3 is meditate. Meditate. Now, why do I say that? Now, here's the thing. Now, oftentimes when you get gaslighted, it's because you also have a very small capacity. So your partner, your date knows that you have a very short fuse, right? You have a very short reaction span, right? And so like they're like, oh, this is great. I'm going to get a reaction out for her. But when you meditate and you are creating space for yourself, right? You're creating perspective for yourself, right? You actually start to feel more calm, more content, and ultimately much more trusting to yourself. See, this whole game is really about yourself, knowing yourself, being connected to yourself, being connected to your own truth. Who am I? What's my identity? What is my integrity inside of myself? Okay, really, really important. And secret number 4 is be willing to be in the unknown. So here's the thing. When we are called a certain label, a certain term by another person, right, there's also this sort of this familiarity and this certainty. The loop is it closes the gap, right? It's like, okay, well, at least I know that I have this kind of relationship. At least I kind of know what kind of role I have in here. At least I know what kind of identity I have in here. But what I ask you to do instead is when you are resisting, when you are saying no to that gaslighting attempt, then what you have to live with is the unknown, right? Because the unknown is all about, well, first, I did not get the approval from my partner, right? The unknown is also about like, I'm not really got to feel like I'm not right. You know what I mean? So I didn't really get this like right or wrong. As a matter of fact, my mom was always so good at that she would literally say, you can prove to me black on white that you're right and you're not right, right? So I had to truly learn what it means to be in the unknown, meaning, right, this younger part inside of us that wants to have the approval, that wants to have the connection to our parents, to the primary caregiver, to that source of love and of support. What happens is we really feel like sort of like we're left hanging, right? And in order to understand like, well, how can I handle this? Being left hanging is really being willing to be in the unknown. Now, how can you increase more your ability to be more in the unknown, right? So first and foremost, what's really important is to let go of assumptions. You know, oftentimes we're filling in the blanks, right? We're filling in the gaps and we just assume, which assume, as you know, means making an ass of you and me. And so what you want to stop doing is like saying, oh, I already know what this means. Oh, when he tells me he likes to have like dinner plans, I know what that means. Or when he says he's religious, I know what that means. Or when he says, you know, he wants to just have fun, I know what that means. So every time when you find yourself saying, I know what that means, think again. Think again, because you may actually not know what that means, right? So it's really important to be in the unknown, increasing your capacity to be in the unknown. So let's go again through all 4 secrets on how to stop gaslighting in a relationship. So again, secret number 1 is stay connected to yourself. Focus on yourself, right? Like, what do I want? Do I get the attention? Do I get the approval, right? So tip number 2, secret number 2 is really all about lean into what you're being labeled as, lean into what you're being gaslighted as, because that will cause that very surprising pattern interrupt in his brain. And he's like, wow, I don't know, I can't manipulate her, right? I can't sabotage her. Secret number 3 was all about meditation. Meditate, create that space, create that perspective. So you can actually say, hold on a second, something doesn't feel right. My intuition, my instinct is still very strong. And tip number 4, secret number 4 is being willing to be in the unknown. Be in the unknown, increase your capacity, being able to hold that despite if you're right or even if you're wrong. So if you're like, gosh, Antje, this has been really insightful, and I really don't know exactly how to do that. I feel I'm so sabotaged all the time. I give my power all the time away. I even forget who I am in a relationship. And ultimately, I'm being gaslighted because I really lose my own power. I lose my own self-respect. Then I invite you to come and magnetize your man heart-to-heart chat with me while we get crystal clear what is really getting in the way. What is that pivotal moment for you? What is it in your thoughts, in your thinking, or in your behavioral patterns that keep you stuck? What are your belief systems that keep you stuck and attracting men over and over again, where you experience that consistent gaslighting in your relationships? So for that, click that link below or go to magnetizeyourman.com, magnetizeyourman.com. I am certainly so excited to chat with you, girlfriend. I know you can turn this boat around. I know you can claim your power back, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Much love. Mwah!